Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Ma'am Ayu as the lecturer. Thank you for the opportunity that has given to us. Today we are going to deliver you our speech. First, let me introduce our team. I am Sonia Amalia, the first speaker. Our second speaker is Umay, the third speaker is Nurul, Hana, and the last speaker is Annisa, Putri, Pramestii. Next, I would like to give our motion today. Our motion is this half belief that TV program are not pro-education. From that motion, we will give our line that we as the affirmative team absolutely agree that TV program are not pro-education, and then we will limit the discussion is only TV program in Indonesia. Before I deliver my arguments, I would like to give a little definition of TV programs. Television is one of the electronic media which present a variety of show either in the form of new entertainment until the display show the drama. From most of these television programs, many TV stations make non-educational TV program in Indonesia. So ladies and gentlemen, besides that, I will deliver some arguments about the motion. First, many television programs in Indonesia often take scenes from educational background settings, complete with uniforms, location, as well as interaction in class and outside the classroom, which often do not correspond to real life. Lots of these scenes that we are carried out seem to exemplify the things that we are not good for the children in school. For example, we often see scenes of lovey-dovey in the school environment. The worst, that the program was broadcast in prime time. This clock is the possibility of many minors to watch the soap opera. This can encourage children and adolescents to understand that hugging, holding hands, or some kind of excessive skinship is not allowed things to do at school, so that social style and patterns broadcast and soap opera can easily be imitated by children and adolescents who are still psychological unstable. And the second is TV program that show a reality shows send a bad message and help to create a cult of instant celebrity. This program suggests that anyone can be famous just by getting on TV and being themselves without working hard or having any particular talent. A student who watch this show will get the idea that they don't need to study hard in school or train hard for a regular job. So I think that's all for me. I invite speaker from the other groups to present their arguments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for first speaker of affirmative side. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Ma'am Ayu as the lecturer. Thank you for the chance that given to us. And today we are going to deliver our argument. And first, let me introduce our members of negative side. I'm Nadya Wulandari as the first speaker. Our second speaker is Rizka Aulia, and the third speaker is Voni Nuralawiah. Ladies and gentlemen, I disagree with the motion of TV programs are not pro-education. Television can teach important values and life lessons from educational programming. Before we present our argument, the negative team will contend the definition presented by the affirmative speaker. Our opposition said that TV stations make non-educational TV programs in Indonesia. We contend that this definition is unrealistic, and that is place we should define the topic as the TV programs are not pro-education, then the positive one. First argument is educational television or learning television is the use of television program in the field of distance education. Television programs show not only soap opera, many children's television series are educational, ranging from dedicated learning programs to those that indirectly teach the viewers. Some series are written to have specific moral behind every episode, often explained at the end by the character that learn the lesson. And according to Commissioner of Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia or KPI, whereas KPI has regulated all shows and programs that can be watched by the public, KPI has provided age restriction on every television program in Indonesia by placing a rating in the right corner of the program, such as SU for all age, D for adult, R for teenager, and BO for parental guiding. And KPI has setting watch hour for children. Every morning, KPI specializes in show intended for children. As for the program for adults, it is broadcast starting at night, where the child as the student must spend time for studying and doing their assignment. And also the role of parents is very important to limit children to watch television. And the second argument is, not all reality shows are bad for students. It is an educational reality show, for example, My Trip and My Adventure. From this reality show, we can take the benefits such as children can know the culture in Indonesia, and from a social point of view, children also know how to interact with other people. And also, actually, Indonesia has many pro-educational reality shows. KPI worked together with 12 state universities in 12 cities in this country, have completed the TV broadcast program quality index research activity for 2020. According to Central KPI Commissioner, in general, the index value of the program category studied has increased quite significantly compared to the result previous research. Overall, the index value reached an average of 3.14. Based on data from the 2020 research, three categories of TV programs that have not been able to achieve the average number include the cinema electronic program category, the variety show program category, and the infotainment program category. There are six categories that have reached the index value determined by the KPI. It is religious programs, children's programs, news talk shows programs, non-news talk shows programs, cultural tourism programs, and news programs. And the six categories that have reached the index score are pro-educational programs. Okay, now for me, thank you. I will invite the second speaker of affirmative team to give the argument.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Umay, a second speaker, and I would like to rebuttal from the first speaker. She said that there are programs TP are pro-educational such as My Trip, My Adventure, but this program show it every day, but just on weekend. And every day people watch our bed doing program like Suara Hati Zahra in Indonesia, where a 16 years old is portrayed as her 40 years old wife, and that shows how pedophile cases are committed in society. And I would like to deliver my argument of program TV Indonesia are not pro-educational, for especially for children, such as Rumah Uya, Rumpi, Pagi-Pagi Pasti Happy, and many more that who are inviting some people become famous without a talent, just for sensational for the viral on the social media. It's just not all about the lessons such as math, science, and etc. It's all about the morality. Sex, crime, and violence are frequently depicted on televisions and may have negative effects on impressionable children and adults. Kids who see violent acts are more likely to display aggressive or violent behavior, and also to believe that the world is scary place and that something bad is going to happen to them. Ongoing studies have shown lasting correlations between watching violence on televisions and aggressions that begins in childhood and continues into adulthood. Viewers sometimes imitate violence, criminal, sexual, or other risky behavior they see on televisions and end up in trouble, in jail, or in a hospital as a result. And the second point is, most new programs only skim the surface of issues and often over-skewed or bias the view of events. Programs are usually too short and too often interrupted by advertisements to delve very deeply into a topic. Instead of rich dialogues, we get empty sound bites, slogans, and one-liners. Most really shows depict deplorable characters doing silly and useless things. And the last point is, the most popular program that received the most number of KPI reprimands were soap operas. Although some of them were addressed, the rating was still high. Also, some of these programs were criticized for being copied from other countries. That eliminates the possibility of empty for society's most vulnerable members. It also raises the specter of society full of violence. There are various types of violations which must be avoided in order to be broadcast successfully. There are various types of violations committed by individuals and groups. Some of these include violence of the rights of children and women, as well as regulations regarding smoking. That's enough for me, and I would like to invite the third speaker from the negative team to present their argument. Thank you.
Thank you for the time. I'm Rizka Aulia. Here I want to oppose the motion that TV programs in Indonesia are not pro-education. Here is my reason why I disagree with the motion. One of the criteria for a quality TV programs is pro-education. This means that the programs that are broadcast can increase viewers' insight, do not offend Sarah, can improve thinking patterns, maintain privacy, and have moral and social values. In fact, there are a lot of TV programs in Indonesia that pro-education. Based on the 2020 TV Broadcast Program Quality Index research, the Central KPI Commissioner, as well as the PIC research for the 2020 TV Broadcast Program Quality Index, Yuliendra Darwis, together with a team, in general, the index value of the program category studied has increased considerably significant compared to previous research. There are 457 programs in 15 TV stations that were researched, and then the programs that pro-education evidently be superior to those that are non-education. I rebuttal a statement from the affirmative side that a TV program for children was severely limited in broadcast.
As we know, Monday through Friday, the children go to school. The TV shows are just for fun and therefore only air on holidays. And then based on the second speaker from affirmative side, state that many TV programs are not good for children's psychology. And here, this is where the role of parents is needed in assisting their children to choose and watch television programs so that children get TV programs that are appropriate for their age. And then, for example, in children programs, there are Dunia Binatang, Laptop Si Unyil, Si Bolang. These programs are very suitable for children and also pro education. And the other pro education TV shows, such as Jejak Si Gundul, On the Spot, and then Islam Itu Indah, Dami Indonesiaku, Mata Najwa, Prime Talk, Metro Hari Ini, CNN Indonesia. This example prove that there are still many pro-education TV programs. However, the viewers' lack of interest in pro-education programs and they prefer programs that are full of sensation has made pro-education programs considered non-exist. So in my opinion, the problem is not all with the TV program. It depends on how we as a viewer seek, select, and take listen from the TV programs. Thank you. I invite the third speaker from affirmative side.
Thank you for the time. I'm Nurul Fitriani as the third speaker of affirmative team. Here I would like to rebuttal the second speaker of negative team. Negative team say that still there are a lot of television programs that pro-education, right? But now the problem is the amount of time spent on television educating children is limited because now television almost full of reality show, soap operas and infotainment. In the online discussion of the global group FGD held by KPI, Siti Komariah, as a child facilitator from the National Children's Forum, stated that television is no more for adults than for children. Most of these programs tend to fail as a result. Yet, in the current pandemic, it is longer than ever for children to watch television. We're running out of time to stay at home and watch television. We just hope there's some good entertainment for children, especially in prime time. What appears is entertaining, but not enough to educate children. Television watchers are not only adults, but also children. Comforting images are acceptable to adults, but not necessarily to them. Siti said as we hoped for a television evaluation to harmonize with the child wishes. Such requests are valid and reasonable because the need for information and entertainment they deserve are basic rights to be met according to the Child Protection Law. The Central Commissioner of KPI said that a film distribution law would provide child and youth protection in the broadcast. According to the KPI record in 2020, it still finds a great deal of content that smells mystical and supernatural. And then the second speaker of negative team says that the viewers' lack of interest in pro-education programs and they prefer programs that are full of sensations has made pro-education programs considered non-existent. Child prover Awam Prakoso consider the presence of special programs for decent and good children to be essential in the midst of many television programs that are not worthy for them. Although there are guidelines for broadcasting, it is still dominated by what is not an ideal for children to see. According to Awam, television and radio audiences enjoyed everything presented. If we present a good broadcast a lot, it will shift the patterns of people to watch that good broadcast. From that statement, we can conclude that if we presented a good television program that pro-education a lot, it will make the viewers get high interest to watch and see in pro-education programs. That's all from me, thank you. I will invite the last speaker of affirmative team.
Okay, thank you, Hana. So before I start, I will introduce myself first. I'm Annisa, Putri Pramestii as the last speaker from Affirmative Group. So from several of the arguments my team has conveyed, television programs are not pro-educational because many television programs such as soap operas and reality shows contain elements that are not suitable to be broadcast.
based on the Broadcasting Code of Conduct or Putri and the Broadcast Program Standard or SPS compiled by the KPI. There are various types of violence that must be avoided by television stations in broadcasting their programs. These violence are violence and sadism, sexuality, violence of public interest, religious harassment, harassment of marginalized group, harassment of modesty and immoral norms, mystical and supernatural, violence of the rights of children, adolescents and women, violence and regulation regarding smoking, and regulations other rules. It appears that violence and sadism are the highest types of violence, followed by sexuality, violence against the public interest, and a combination of various types of violence. Soap operas are the programs most watched by people. Soap operas generally tell about human life a day-to-day, playing with prolonged conflict. They contain not good scenes such as violence, sexual harassment, harsh words, and others. Although there are some soap operas with school themes, there are also some bad skins such as holding hands and hugging with the opposite sex. It was feared that things like this would be taken for usual things by young audience and they would be followed. Apart from soap operas, reality shows are also considered not good because most of them contain sensation. Nowadays, many people easily become famous because of creating a sensation. They don't think what they are doing is right or wrong just for the sake of sensation to be famous. Reality shows also contain things about artists that are not important to discuss. For example, the activities of the artist's love story, the problems that the artists are facing, and also the conflicts between artists and each other. Of course, it is not a good thing for public consumption. Although there are some educational television programs have been set by the second opposite group, we still strongly that television programs are not pro-educational. Of the many Indonesian television programs, soap operas are still on remains the belle of many viewers. Almost every television nationwide in Indonesia broadcasts soap operas programs with a variety of its flagship soap operas titles. The educational programs are less competitive than those that are less educational. This is because less educative programs have high ratings. Television stations are more considered with high ratings regardless of the quality of the program. That's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I rebut the explanation from the third affirmative speaker that television programs were not educational, so they were not suitable for broadcast for fear the things that were not worth watching could be followed by young people. Although not all programs on television are like that, the statements show the affirmative themes that all the programs on television are not educational and are not suitable for broadcast. Based on the opposition theme from the first and the second speaker that there are many programs on television that can educate, such as in the children's program, for example, Dunia Binatang, Laptop Si Unyil, Si Bolang, Asiknya Menggambar. These programs are very suitable for children as well as pro-education. In the cultural insight program, for example, Jejak Si Gundul, My Trip by Adventure on the Spot, with this program, viewers can learn about culture in Indonesia as well. Religious program, for example, Islam itu indah, damai Indonesiaku, mujizat itu nyata. Talk show program, for example, Mata Najwa, Prime Talk, Indonesia Bicara. News program, for example, CNN Indonesia, Kabar Siang, Metro Hari Ini. Based on the 2020 TV broadcast program quality index research, the Central KPI Commissioner and the PIC research for the 2020 TV broadcast program quality index, in general, the index value of the program categorized studied has increased significantly compared to previous research. Overall, the index value rise and reached an average of 3.4, which was previously at 2.9 in 2019. There were 457 programs in 15 TV stations studied, and then pro-educational programs turned out to be superior to non-educational one. In addition, the Commissioner of the Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia KPI, where KPI has managed everything show and programs that can be watched by the public. KPI has provided an age limit and every television program in Indonesia by displaying the rating in the right corner of the program, such as SU all age, D adults, R youth, and BO parental guidance. And KPIs have set watch hour for kids every morning. KPI specialized in show aimed at children. The program for adults is broadcasting starting at night, where the children as students must spend the night to study and do his job. And also, the role of parents is very important to limit children watching television and accompanying their children to choose and watch television program so their children get TV show that are age appropriate. The conclusion from the opposition team really make it clear that TV is pro toward education, although the government team state that TV is not pro education because there are some TV programs that are not suitable for young people to watch. The existence of programs that are not suitable for young people to watch so that they don't follow them doesn't mean that all programs on television are not suitable to be watched and are categorized as not pro education. Television can be used for young people and adults alike, but not all programs can be watched by young people. The existence of programs aimed at young people and the time that has been set for the screening educational program as well as program for adults show that TV is pro-education. TV that is not pro toward education is TV where there is no single programs or show that can educate and watch by young people. Thank you. That's all arguments from the affirmative and the opposite team about TV programs are not pro-education. Thank you so much for watching, and last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.